Brilliance Audio presents Myths to Live by Joseph Campbell. Edited by David Kundler. Forward by Johnson E. Fairchild. Performed by Malcolm Hilgartner. I was sitting the other day at a lunch counter that I particularly enjoy, when a youngster about 12 years old, arriving with his school satchel, took the place at my left. Beside him came a younger little man, holding the hand of his mother, and those two took the next seats. All gave their orders, and while waiting, the boy at my side said, turning his head slightly to the mother, "Jimmy wrote a paper today on the evolution of man, and teacher said he was wrong, that Adam and Eve were our first parents." My Lord, I thought, what a teacher. The lady 3 seats away then said, "Well, teacher was right. Our first parents were Adam and Eve." What a mother for a 20th century child! The youngster responded, "Yes, I know, but this was a scientific paper," and for that I was ready to recommend him for a Distinguished Service Medal from the Smithsonian Institution. The mother, however, came back with another. "Oh, those scientists," she said angrily. "Those are only theories." And he was up to that one, too. "Yes, I know," was his cool and calm reply, "but they have been factualized. They found the bones." The milk and the sandwiches came, and that was that. So let us now reflect for a moment on the sanctified cosmic image that has been destroyed by the facts and findings of irrepressible young truth-seekers of this kind. At the height of the Middle Ages, say in the 12th and 13th centuries, there were current 2 very different concepts of the earth. The more popular was of the earth as flat, like a dish surrounded by and floating upon a boundless cosmic sea, in which there were all kinds of monsters dangerous to man. This was an infinitely old notion, going back to the early Bronze Age. It appears in Sumerian cuneiform texts of about 2000 BC, and is the image authorized in the Bible. The more seriously considered medieval concept, however, was that of the ancient Greeks, according to whom the earth was not flat, but a solid stationary sphere in the center of a kind of Chinese box of 7 transparent revolving spheres, in each of which there was a visible planet: the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, the same 7 after which our days of the week are named. The sounding tones of these 7, moreover, made a music, the music of the spheres, to which the notes of our diatonic scale correspond. There was also a metal associated with each: silver, mercury, copper, gold, iron, tin, and lead, in that order. And the soul descending from heaven to be born on earth picked up, as it came down, the qualities of those metals, so that our souls and bodies are compounds of the very elements of the universe, and sing, so to say, the same song. Music and the arts, according to this early view, were to put us in mind of those harmonies from which the general thoughts and affairs of this earth distract us. And in the Middle Ages, the 7 branches of learning were accordingly associated with those spheres: grammar, logic, and rhetoric, known as the trivium; arithmetic, music, geometry, and astronomy, the quadrivium. The crystalline spheres themselves, furthermore, were not, like glass, of inert matter, but living spiritual powers, presided over by angelic beings, or, as Plato had said, by sirens. And beyond all, there was that luminous celestial realm where God in majesty sat on his triune throne, so that when the soul at death, returning to its Maker, passed again through the 7 spheres, it left off at each the accordant quality, and arrived unclothed for the judgment. The emperor and the pope on earth governed, it was supposed, according to the laws and will of God, representing his power and authority at work in the ordained Christian commonalty. Thus, in the total view of the medieval thinkers, there was a perfect accord between the structure of the universe, the canons of the social order, and the good of the individual. Through unquestioning obedience, therefore, the Christian would put himself into accord not only with his society, but also with both his own best inward interests and the outward order of nature.